Hi y'all, today I'm showing you how to make my mama's southern fried apple ham pies. It's something she used to make for us when we were little. Her mama made them for her and they're perfect for barbecues and picnics. Ingredients you'll need: 2 pounds of baking apples, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of ground ginger, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, which is optional, the juice and zest of 2 lemons, and 1 cup of sugar. First, we make the pie dough. Ingredients you'll need for the pie dough: 2 sticks of frozen salted butter, 1/2 cup to 3/4 cups of cold water, and 2 1/4 cups of white lily all-purpose flour. Now first I fork fluff the flour and then I put it into the food processor. It's important that you fork fluff because you want to aerate the flour so it's not too compacted. And then I just cut up the butter and then I add it to the food processor. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulsing it until I get the frozen butter the size of a peas. And then I start adding 1/2 cup of water slowly while pulsing the food processor. And sometimes you need more water. And after I've added 1/2 cup, if it's still not good, then I start adding a tablespoon at a time. And I think I added 2 or 3 tablespoons. And then if I can smush it in my fingers and it holds, then I know it's ready. And then I put it into a plastic bag and I shape it into a disc. And then I'm going to put it into the refrigerator for no less than 30 minutes. You're going to need to wash your apples first, and then we're going to core the apples. It's a nice tool to have. I think it's like $5 over at Walmart, but it makes life a lot easier when you're doing a lot of baking with apples and things like that. And then you peel the apples. And I'm going to juice 1 lemon over the apples. And I continue peeling. I wanted to toss the apples in the lemon juice before, so they go brown. And then I'm slicing the apples, and they're about, I guess, a 1/4 inch thick. And now I'm going to use a small paring knife. And just to let you know, I have tossed these several times. There's lemon juice at the bottom of this bowl. And I'm just using a paring knife to remove any core that might be still there. You don't want to bite into, that rough piece of core of an apple. So just make sure everything is clean. It's a little time consuming. And then I toss the apples in the lemon juice that's still at the bottom of the bowl to make sure that, I'm not going to have any browning of the apples. It stops the oxidization. I can barely talk this evening, excuse me. And I'm adding 1 cup of sugar to the bowl. And I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, which is optional. It does bring heat, just to warn you. 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. So if you don't like any heat, then don't add the cinnamon. And we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt and 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. That's to thicken the sauce that will be created by the apples cooking. And we're going to mix well. And then I pour the sugar mixture over the apples, and then I mix that all together. You can make this a few days ahead before you actually want to assemble your pan pies. That's what I did. And I put the apple slices in a large Dutch oven here. And I did add a half a cup of water as well. And have it over a low medium flame that I'm going to cook it. And that is just to slowly tenderize the apples and cook them. Now I'm just adding the zest of 1 lemon. And I'm just going to stir well. I cook the apples covered, and I know they're done when they're fork tender and the sauce is thickened. That's how you know. And they're done right there, you can see. I bring them out and I put them in a storage container to cool. And until I'm ready to use, I'll keep them in the refrigerator. They'll keep up to about 3-4 days that way. And now I'm just dusting the work surface with some flour, and I'm going to roll out the dough. I've shown you guys how to do this many times, but always I dust the flour pan, and I keep moving the dough around. That way it doesn't stick and you can get the dough up easily. I'm making, these are 5-inch circles I've done. And I re-rolled out any extra pie dough I had so I could get more 5-inch circles to fill with apple filling. And it's about 2 tablespoons, I'd say, you get in there. And you're just going to make sure that there's no air in there. You can see me. I'm trying to make sure there's no air. So I'm pushing all the air out. Because you don't want to blow out. What I mean by that is when you're frying, if it opens up your hand pie, and the filling goes into the oil, it's very violent, and you can hurt yourself because, of course, like any water and oil, it's hot. It will pop out and get you. You don't want that. They're perfect because you can give them to a kid and they can carry it around. That's what my mama used to do with us, you know. Always at a barbecue or picnic for dessert, she'd have these. And you just crimp them with a fork just to make sure they're completely sealed. And I filled the Dutch oven about 4 inches deep with vegetable oil. And I have a candy thermometer here. And once the oil is heated to 365 degrees, I know that I can start frying. And you don't want to crowd the pan. You want to make sure there's no more than 3 or 4 in there, because when you add the hand pies, it's going to drop the temperature. And you don't want your hand pies to become laden with oil. That's the reason why you keep it up at 365, around there. And once they become golden brown, then you remove them and you put them on a tray, which you're going to see in a moment. But remember, don't let your oil drop. That's why I was constantly monitoring the temperature to make sure everything was good. And this is what they look like. They're so beautiful. And with the ice cream, oh gosh, it's so good. To help our channel grow, we're asking everybody to please like, subscribe, and comment. If you're enjoying our content, we ask you to consider becoming a subscriber. It does help us tremendously, more than you know, because otherwise we stay hidden. The more subscribers, the more eyeballs on our videos. I post videos every Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays on a variety of topics: cooking, baking, sewing, gardening, lifestyle. Thank you all for watching. We're so very grateful. We know you've got a lot of choices, videos you can watch here on YouTube. We're just forever grateful that you come on by and watch one of ours. It's going to be another hot one, so we ask you to please be safe. Bring your pets inside. Make sure they've got water. Make sure you've got water. And as always, be blessed.